I'm one for the streets. I'm one for the mix. I'm one for the streets. I'm one for the mix.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Gloria Jean's I Want Simonis Ride the Nine Tour. Tonight we have an extra special guest, Mr. Mark White. All right, two-piece Q right here. And sorry about that. And and he is joining us for the very first time, and we really do not have anything set again to speak about, but I have a lot of questions that I'm going to be asking, and he's going to be very candid in his answers. So let's get to know Mark White on a deeper level. But before I do that, I am going to share this. I'm sorry, I have to. I've shared to some groups, but I have to share this to my personal page. I do. I want to. All right. Hold on. Did it go? Did it go? Come on. No, of course not. Hold on. All right. Let's see. Sorry about that. I just want to make sure that, there it is. All right. Move to trash. Okay. So, if you have listened to any of the Predator events, you'll know that there's been significant change going on. Emily's doing some great things, and teaming up with WPBA, and teaming up with we have here some events coming up that I want to talk about. But Mark was commentating, and I had never heard Mark before commentate, and I was like, wow, he's just a natural, a lot like Kelly. Ava still to me, the queen of female commentators. So Mark, how long ago? Now we know you've always had a passion for pool, a love for pool, but how long ago did you start to actually get into like the deep part of this, and how did you transform from where you were to getting here in the booth with Predator and talking to all the greats? Tell me a little bit about your journey.
I was very, very lucky. I was in the right place at the right time. I started off in playing snooker when I was 7 years old, so 53 years ago almost. And there used to be this great program on TV. It showed one frame of snooker, one rack of snooker a week on a Monday night. It was called Pot Black, and my dad allowed me to stay up especially late on a Monday night. It was a school night, and the program lasted 25 minutes, and I would sit there and I would somehow just be calling the shots right. I don't know how I knew, I just was. And then everyone kept saying, oh, you should be a commentator, you should be a commentator. Obviously, I'm very young. Fast forward to about age 13. I started playing on big tables. I already had a little one at home, like most of us start on. I became very good at snooker. I made century breaks by the time I was 15. I made my first one, the 100 break, my first one ever. And I had quite a successful kind of amateur career in snooker, and I became a coach in 1984. My passion has always been there. It's stronger than ever now. You could call me a failed snooker player because I wasn't quite good enough. I never reached the level that I had hoped I would. Then I discovered, as I got older, I thought, snooker's boring. There's no music, there's no drinking allowed, everyone's quiet. And I just thought, I need to start having some fun. So I went into English 8-ball and then eventually American 9-ball. And I just had a ball. And I'm in Thailand right now, and it's kind of where it all started for me in the pool industry. 2017, just before COVID, I'm in a pool hall, literally 50 meters from where I'm sat now in my apartment. There was this big tournament going on. It was a Chinese 8-ball tournament, actually, in a big shopping mall here in Bangkok. And they asked, they came up to me. There was an amateur tournament going on pre the big event, and there was a Filipino company who was streaming it called Batang Tirador, and they were looking for a commentator. And he literally just come up to me and said, "Can you commentate on pool? You speak English, right?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Can you commentate on pool?" So I said, "Yes." I always say yes, regardless of whether I can or not. You know, just in case, you never know, right?
Right.
I might have completely ruined it and never ever commentated on another event in my life. But it went well. People liked it. I've always been the kind of person to try anything, give it my all. And if it's good enough, then good. If it isn't, well, what can I do? I'm not good enough at it. So I'll go and try something else. So that is basically how I got into it. And then COVID done me a huge favor because, you know, I had to leave Thailand. I had to go back to the UK. Everyone was on lockdown. The world was on lockdown.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, this online pool became a thing. And I was again contacted by this Filipino company and said, "Look, can you come and do some commentary online?" Anyway, cut a very, very, very long story a little bit short. I then got heard by a company in America called Ship the Cash. And they had a big challenge. Billy Thorpe, Chris Reinhold, or Robinson as he was back then, Sky Woodward, Billy Thorpe, and a guy called Danny Olson. There was this challenge match going on. And they said, "Would you do some commentary?" And I did. And from there, it's just gone ridiculous. People seem to like me. They like my British accent. That's probably most of it, I guess. By the way, I heard you do a British accent. Is that true?
I do one. I do not do one well. Kelly and Carly will not watch. Well, Kelly will not watch this if she hears me butcher it up. She begs and pleads. She would probably give me her table and a lot more if I would cease and desist completely in trying in my attempts to do this. Truth be told.
Well, she's not here.
Yes, but sometimes outside of the words Harry Potter and Hello Governor, I cannot even stand it. I try to run. But it's fun. It's fun. For sure.
You mentioned Kelly Fisher and Carly McGee there.
Two
and
of my beautiful
I just want
favorite
to say
women.
now, yeah, you know, if it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't be where I am now, because Carly, I'm sure she won't mind me saying, helped me so much over the time since I've known her, over the last couple of years. We attended the World Pool Championships together in Milton Keynes. We stayed at the same hotel, separate rooms. It's not like that. Don't start fishing for stories.
No, me personally, I don't. As I told you, I don't get into that. That's people's personal lives, and Carly is one of my sweethearts, so I would never.
Yeah, I love Carly. She's been great, and Kelly Fisher has helped. I actually met Kelly on one of these online challenges during COVID, and we just seemed to hit it off. But who couldn't be friends with Kelly? She's just an amazing person. I've since become friends with her brother as well, with her brother's wife. We met in Las Vegas. We had an absolute ball in Las Vegas They took me to the Venetian where we got the VIP treatment, and it's been it really has been, and I know this, you hear this term used a lot, roller coaster. It really has been a roller coaster ride for me. I think I'm so fortunate to be where I am now. And if you want to know exactly why I'm where I am now, I sent a begging letter basically to CSI, to Q Sports International, to Ozzy Reynolds and Amy Kane, and said, look, I think you should hire me as a commentator. And they said, why? And I told them why I thought there was room in the industry for someone a little bit different, someone that's not too worried about calling the right shots all the time, or, you know, trying to predict what the players are going to do. I thought it's a little bit more than that when you're commentating, right, to try and interact with the audience. And also something very important, I think, is, you know, we're trying to get new people into this sport all the time. And if you keep talking as if you're talking to experts, people that play pool all the time, then you're alienating so many other people that know nothing about pool.
I agree.
So I kind of play the idiot, play the I don't really know what I'm talking about type of guy. I like to be the colour guy. I don't care if I call a right shot or a wrong shot. Actually, I'd rather call a wrong shot and get my co-commentator to explain why that is the wrong shot. You know, it's about educating other people. It's not about showing everyone how much you know about the game. And I've been so fortunate to commentate with some great people. You know, the great Double J, Jeremy Jones, I've had the pleasure of commentating with. George Teixeira, who's been absolutely lovely to me. He's a lovely man. And he's been so great to me over the last year or so since I've met him. And of course, my favourite person to commentate with is Tony Robles, because there is no one in the game, I believe, including Jeremy Jones, there's no one that knows more about the game of pool than Tony Robles. And not only that, he's a thoroughly nice guy as well. He's a great teacher. He's a fountain of knowledge. He is an absolute pleasure to sit with next to. He's a gentleman. I've never heard him raise his voice. I've never seen him get angry. I mean, I think he's got the worst nickname well, I don't know, not the worst nickname, the silent assassin. The silent part, yes, okay, because he goes about his business very quietly on the same level. Assassin, not really. He's a bit of a baby, honestly. He's a lovely, cuddly baby, is what Tony is.
So you started when you were about 15, is that right? And you started playing.
Yeah.
Say snooker for me.
Snooker.
You started playing snooker. See, I can't do it. I can't.
Say call blimey governor for me.
What is that?
Call blimey governor.
Oh, no. I'm not attempting that.
By the way, I've got a secret to tell you.
Oh, okay.
I had a crush on you about a year ago.
What?
I had a crush on you.
Oh, I did not know. I don't know what to say right now. I'm so embarrassed.
It's okay. It's past now. It's past now.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I truly am honored. I don't know what to say, but thank you.
Just say yes. Say yes.
Yes, thank you. Todd Nevins just came in. He's one of the people in my tour. He said, good luck finishing this interview. Carly went, oh, she's laughing. Hi, Ron, by the way. Hi, Carly. Hi, everybody. Thanks for stopping in. So all right, so this threw me off a little bit. I don't want to say too much because we're kind of little bit time for a commercial break. People are writing. Yeah. So I know Tony, not as well as I would have liked. He's very close with Upstate Al, who is an amazing individual. But
Yeah,
he and I and another tour put together a tournament one time over at Snookers, Rhode Island, and ran that. I was not available. I was absent because you know that I've had it's obvious, you see it on my Facebook page that I've had a lot of issues with health. So I wasn't exactly there, but I did do a lot of like, work in the back end. Um, so with that being said, Tony was always upstanding and very respectful to people
yeah,
and the players, and always did a phenomenal job. Um, so when pool went where it did, um, uh, uh, the the company that you mentioned, we actually he used to go to my tournaments, and uh then he talked to me quickly, and he asked me about starting tournaments, and he used to come to my tournament, and I told him he could hand out his flyers and whatnot, and we were very, very close. Things have gotten a little bit different now because we're both in the same area, um but I know exactly what you're talking about because we started virtual tournaments just about 2 weeks apart. I don't know if you
right.
know that. Yep. Uh-huh. And then after that, Nate was playing in my virtual tournaments. And then he
Yeah,
started virtual tournaments, and then the WPBA. It was a roller coaster, but all that, I'm so grateful for every single every single entity that did something virtual, uh gave an opportunity to people. So I'm absolutely grateful, no matter who it was, that gave us an opportunity. Actually, we're still doing virtual tournaments. Um, so, so if virtual was what got you in here, that's one of the great things that came out of COVID, right?
absolutely. I don't think I'd be doing what I'm doing now if it wasn't for COVID. So yes, come on, COVID. No, I'm
No, no.
joking, of course.
um, uh, so what is your connection? So you commentate now. What is your connection with Predator, and what's your connection with CSI? And talk to me about. I see there's the Canada Open. I know the WPBA. Brittany Bryant's going to be going. All the ladies are going to be going. There's that Pro Billiards series. The CSI is doing a lot. It's August 16th to 21st. I'm looking at it right here. Tell me a little bit about that. Tell me about your connection with Predator, your connection with CSI, where you'll be. Are you going to be there August 16th to 20th, 21st? Tell me a little bit about what's going to be upcoming for you.
Well, I was going to be going to Germany, but because of certain problems with travel, I can't actually go to Germany now. I was going to go and do the Germany Open in Bremen, which is on the 13th to the 16th of June. That's a pro billiard series event put on by Predator. It's the 2 races to 4. I won't now be going. Hopefully, I'm going to be doing some remote commentary on that. We're trying to work it out, see if I can. But I will definitely be going to the Canadian event. Great event put on by Grant Zemp over there. It's in Red Deer in Calgary. The first ever one, huge money been added to that one. And there's also a women's event running alongside it. And it really is exciting times for pool now, for both women and for men. And I'm such a huge advocate, as I know you are, for women's pool. I actually commentated on the Women's World Cup, actually put on by One TV back during COVID as well. That's another where I met Jasmine Ocean, where I met Margaret Fefilova. I got to do some commentary with Margaret Fefilova, another great person, by the way.
Yes.
She's fantastic. She's now working with Predator doing media stuff. I'm sure you saw her in Las Vegas.
Yes, yes.
So there's also four women's events been added, 5 if you include the Canadian one as well. So this is great. Of course, they're allowed to go into the Open as well, the women, which I believe they should, because I think it'll elevate their game even more. So yeah, so we've got after the Canadian event, we've then got Michigan, where CSI run the state championships alongside those Pro Billiard Series events as well, which is a genius move. It brings all the amateur league players together with the professionals, and you know, there's some great stories developing in the pool world now. Particularly, I don't know whether you've seen this great friendship that's sprung up between Jason Shaw and a little kid called Leo.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, that's
He's got
great.
those platform kiss shoes.
Yeah. Have you seen the rack where he's on a hoverboard, goes around and clears the table on a hoverboard now? He's such a great young kid, you know, and Jason's taken him under his wing. Big shout out to Jason Shaw and Ara Shaw as well. You know, when I went to the US, they looked after me like I was a brother to them. And I'd only met them in Vegas as well. Super nice people. There are, you know, pool gets a bad rap sometimes that, you know, it's full of gamblers and it's full of unsavory characters. I tell you, there's more great people in the pool industry than there is bad people. I've not met any bad, to be honest. Everyone's been totally great to me. Anyway, so yes, back to Michigan. We've got the state championships in Battle Creek, the home of Kellogg's Cornflakes. I was there last year. Absolutely brilliant venue, the Kellogg Arena. And then from there, we go on to Ohio for the state championships alongside the Pro Billiard Series also. And then we head to, for the first time ever, Puerto Rico. And alongside all those events, of course, are the women's events too. Yes. So it really is exciting times for the pool industry. You know, we've got the new event going on at the moment, the UK Open, which is a great event. Matchroom doing great things for pool. But, you know, it's not all about Matchroom. I'm not knocking them. They do fantastic. They're great at what they do. They're a great production company. They put on fantastic events. They're about the show, and it's fantastic. But you can't ignore what, you know, companies like Predator and also companies like Q Sports International. I wear this very, very proudly. The things they do for the amateur game, you know, they've got leagues all over the world. And by the way, this one in Canada, also, they run leagues in Canada. The USA Pool League. They run also a league in Canada. So there is going to be exactly the same. There's going to be an amateur state championships run alongside that pro event also in Canada. So that, you know,
there's a lot of exciting things coming up for both men and women, and it's simultaneously.
Yeah, and people talking about rifts between certain companies, there isn't. Matchroom do 9-ball. They do pro events. They don't do any. They couldn't do what we do. There's no way they could do what CSI. You know, they haven't got the histoy in pool that CSI have got. We've got thousands and thousands and thousands.
Everybody has to start someplace. I just want to throw a shout.
Yeah, we need to feed. We need to feed the next generation.
I just want to say back to Corey. Is it Bruchinen? I butcher names like it's crazy. Says hello, James Bennett. Thank you for watching. Kyle Boutte. Hello. Mr. Pickles, Kyle.
Mr. Pickles, I met him in.
Yeah.
I met him in Wisconsin. I met him.
And I just Todd Nevins has a question, and Kyle, I'll give you Kyle's question first. Can you ask Mark White how much coffee he had today, please? Okay.
Do you want the honest answer? Do you want the honest answer to that? I've got a cup here that I started and I still haven't finished. I've had about that much. I'm like this normally.
Yeah, he's just wired. He's just wired. Todd Nevins asked and brief. This is going to be a long answer, Todd. So, when are there scheduled conflicts between the predator? When there are scheduled conflicts between the predator and matchroom, players will probably choose the matchroom because 9-ball events are points events for Mosconi Cup. It's a really good point right there.
Yeah.
He has a good point. He has a good point. Really good point.
Very good point.
It's when you make it so that people have something to look forward to aside from that in itself, then yes, absolutely. I'm gonna agree with that. He said, "What happened to AZB radio?" That might be another. That might be another interview, Todd, because that might be a long answer. There is that a long or short answer? Do you know?
I don't know anything about AZB radio, but I'll tell you what I will discuss. And I don't really like talking about things I don't know all the ins and outs of. What I do know is that, sorry, you might have seen my leg then. We are in Thailand. It's so hot here. But don't worry, Gloria, I'm not naked from the waist down. I do have shorts on, okay? So don't worry about, I don't want you to worry about that.
I'm not
okay,
worried.
So don't worry about, but on a serious note, you know, there have been, that we've got a conflict with the German Open in Bremen in June, because now the World Cup of Pool is on at the same time as that, you know, the Scotch doubles. So there's going to be lots of players who aren't going to be able to play in both events. And I think when you start making players have to choose, then the sport suffers, because there is room for everyone in this industry. You know, whether you're a private streamer down your local pool hall on a league night, whether you're Matchroom, whether you're Predator or CSI, there's room for everyone in this industry.
Agreed.
But it's the old story of too many people trying to do what's good for them instead of trying to do what's good for the sport. And, you know, there have been some conflicts and there are some bullies in the industry, but you're always going to get bullies, because that some people just like to bully and give people ultimatums. You know, if you don't play in our event, then you're not going to be able to qualify for that. I sort of leave that to everyone else. I just like going into an event, getting my headset on, getting that microphone, sat next to Tony Robles, and just talk about what I see on the table, and, you know, talk about positive stuff and positivity.
And I see that, and you know, I'd love to hear you commentate. I can honestly say that as like a color commentator, like just overall, you're like, I remember when you called it, like, he's gonna jump over that ball and he's gonna jump over that ball, and I can't think of the person, but I remember the shot really clearly, and you're like, he's looking at this. Go ahead.
It was Jesus Asensio.
Okay. And you're like, he's gonna jump right over, and I looked, and you're like, and he's gonna jump over the 9-ball too, and I looked at that and I'm like, that's gotta be, you have to be like pinpoint accurate. And I was like, wow, you know. But then there are other times I hear you and you're doing something completely different, and then you have like this really serious tone. There's a certain tone in your voice where I know you're getting really passionate and into it, and then there's this other tone in your voice where I can hear you're kind of really lighthearted and fun with things. So you're kind of both. You call yourself color, but you're kind of a mix of both, which is actually really, really nice. People like expect with my interviews, they expect me to be like, what was her name, Diane Sawyer?
Yeah.
Where I'd sit there and I'd be like, investigative interviewing. I don't like to sit there and be about investigative interviewing. I like to sit here and do my own thing. And if I have 6 viewers, if I have 8 viewers, I'm okay with having 6 or 8 viewers. If my sponsors are okay with me having 6 or 8 viewers, they're right up there on the screen. So, for me, it's about doing what you love and what makes you really happy. And this is part of what I like. I like doing interviews. It doesn't put doing this interview doesn't put any money in my pocket. It doesn't put any money in your pocket, but it does.
Does it not? Am I not getting paid for this?
Right,
I've got to go. I've got to go. I'm sorry. I've got to go.
No,
I'm sorry.
no. We're gonna send you 99 cents via PayPal.
Okay, brilliant.
And
That's
get a
fine.
Happy Meal with that. You can't even get a Happy. You can't even get a. You can't even get a fry from a Happy Meal with that.
No. I can get a cup of coffee, maybe.
Oh, there you go. All right.
A small cup of coffee.
An extra small. But I like bringing this kind of stuff. Alan Watts, what if money were no object? Best YouTube video ever. Thank you for that, Corey. But I like connecting with people, and I've been doing this going on 15 years, November 1st, 15 years. And
wow.
Yeah, 15 years, but not streaming. COVID got me into streaming. Went out, bought $4,000 in equipment, came back to the house, said, what do I do? We need to learn OBS. This is what's going on, and we were live in like a week and a half. Took us time to purchase the stuff and put it together. I had no clue what went where, but anyway, so you and I do it, I think, for the love of it and the way that we feel when we're doing it,
I honestly think, Gloria, if you do what you love and you do it with passion and you give it your 100% and don't even think about money comes with that anyway. One thing you may not know about me is I was in England. COVID hadn't actually finished. We were still having to quarantine. I sold my vehicle, as you say in America. I had a work truck that I sold, and I got a flight to Vegas via Mexico. I had to quarantine in Mexico for 2 weeks. I always try and find a positive in things. While I was in Mexico, I was so lucky to get to meet a great artistic pool guy, Javier Gomez, who looked after me so well, introduced me to a fantastic carom club called Billiards, and I fell in love with the owners there, and all the old guys in the room were teaching me 3 cushion, and I had a fantastic time. And this was on my way to Vegas. I was 2 days late for the event in Vegas last September, having had to quarantine and then problems with travel still. So I arrived 2 days late. Ozzy Reynolds' first words to me were, "Mark, I'm not sure that there's anything I've got for you to do. I wanted you here 2 days ago."
Right.
So I said, "Look, I'll do anything." He said, "What do you mean you'll do anything?" I said, "I will do anything. I've sold my vehicle. I'm here. I'll do anything. I'll sweep up. I'll clean lavatories, toilets. I'll do anything you need me to do." He said, "Anything?" I said, "Anything." He said, would you clean tables and would you clean the balls?" I said, "Of course I will. I used to clean 24 snooker tables twice a day when I worked at my snooker hall years ago." I said, "It's easy. What, just 9 tables?" "Yes, of course I will. 9 sets of balls every time in between matches." I literally did anything and everything because I just wanted to be around the sport. I wanted to, Gloria, and I'm going to get emotional now, because these times between events, I'm like a clown at a circus. When the show is over, I just go back to my room and, you know, take my paint off and take my makeup off, and not literally, of course, but you know what I mean.
Mm.
And I'm at a loss what to do until the next event. It's why I like doing these interviews. It's why I like doing my stupid little videos every day on Facebook. Why I invented this character here. Look, this guy called Two Piece Q. I just came up with this idea because I wanted to just be involved with the sport in any way I could. And, you know, I cannot wait for the next event to start. I cannot wait for the pool. I should have been in bed. It's 6:30 a.m. we start.
I know.
5:30 a.m. 5:30 a.m. for me, sorry. I didn't go to sleep till about 2 o'clock because I was up watching Sky Woodward play this young sensation from Finland, 14-year-old Riku Rompinen. You know, I just love it. And I will deprive myself of sleep. I will talk on a microphone for, my record is 48 hours in 3 days. You know, I can talk forever about this sport because I love it. And I want people to message me, and I want people to ask me questions. I just want to live this sport that I love. And I really do believe it's why I was born, because I've loved it since the age of 7. And when I'm not talking about pool and not at an event, I miss it. That's it.
You have to understand that people, I know you have your facade. I get that. Believe me, because I have my own as well. But you have to realize what an integral part you play in these events, in commentating, here, interviewing. I mean, how about, I would be honored if you would be kind of like a part to Ride the 9 Tour. So when I have my virtual tournaments, I've offered to Carly as well. Come on in, commentate with me. The door is always open for you here at I Want Simonis Ride the 9 Tour. When I have my virtual events, I'm going to be typing away saying, Mark, it's time. Come on in. What? It's 4:30 in the morning. Get your butt out of that bed right now. It's 4:30. I don't care. I would love to have you. So if you want to, we can talk about that after. From the heart, Mark, proud of you, Carly McGee. She sends you an X.
You know what? I think Carly and I together in the commentary booth would be fantastic. Carly and I have been lost in her car so many times trying to find Alexandra Palace. Do you know, we're getting her wheelchairs when she couldn't walk very well. It was such a long walk from the car park to Alexandra Palace. We got lost together. We've laughed together. We've cried together.
But that's all part of things being great. Life is
Absolutely.
like a heartbeat. You know, if we have everything always being so great, it's not the same. It's that up and down. You know, the way the heart beats. It has to do that in order for us to actually feel. If we're always happy and things are always great, then we don't understand what it's like not to have. So not to have is, in a way, a blessing, because when you finally do have something that you're so grateful for and love so much and hold so dearly to your heart, it makes it 100 times sweeter. So what you did and what you went through in selling your automobile and being there, and you know what happened with Ozzy, all led up. Without those things, it all led up to where you are right now.
Yeah, I always say I'm so fortunate. You know, I was really, there's 2 other people that I really want to mention here as well. And I always mention these people because they were a huge part of, I mean, I met Joey Ryan on that commentary gig that I told you about, the Sky Woodward one, the Ship the Cash.
Mhm.
It was in Piazza's actually in, I forget where it is now. Sorry to Tony Piazza and Patrick. Great guys, by the way. I met them at the Derby City Classic. I also met Tony at the Moscone in January. But yeah, Melina Mike and Joey Ryan. You know, Joey Ryan had me thrust upon him in the commentary booth. He was there live. I was doing it remotely, of course. But we just hit it off straight away. People liked our commentary together. Then I had this vision. I always wanted to do like a weekly magazine show for Paul, but a little bit fun, you know, not serious. Get the fun side of it going. So I came up with this idea for the Booth Brothers. Joey Ryan loved it. We did that for a year together. We brought Melina Mike in for his knowledge on. There's no one with greater knowledge on challenge matches and the money match side of
But he
things.
does Windows Open.
Windows Open, yeah, and they've got their own podcast now, Dogging It. But you know, they've been a huge help to me over the last year, and we're great friends. We'll always be friends. So look, I've got a lot more to do in this industry. I'm actually in Asia at the moment working on trying to get another project going. I'd like to mention a big sponsor of mine at the moment as well, Outsfield, Chris Renfro, maker of the fantastic AccuRack. They're using that now, actually. Matchroom have just done a deal with them where they're using Chris's great AccuRacks. So I just want to get that in there. Chris helps me out as well with a little bit of sponsorship, and he's been great to me. So I've been really lucky to work with some big names in the industry, and I've met everyone. I've got some good friends like Deborah Woodward, Sky's mum, and Billy's mum, and
Amanda, she's a sweetheart. Yeah.
Amanda's great, you know. She makes me laugh on Facebook, and we get on well, and her husband Bill is a lovely guy. There's some great people in this pool world, and I'm lucky enough. I've done so much, Gloria, in this last year. I've been to Moscone, I've been to Derby City, I've been to the International Open, I've been to the World Cup of Pool, I've been to the World Pool Championships, I've been to all these great events 2 times in Vegas for this. I mean, how huge and magnificent was that event? The one that's just finished, back in April, I think it was. The big, where we had the Carom competition going on, the 3 cushion. We had the women's Las Vegas Open. We had the Las Vegas Open. We had the Predator World 10 Ball Championships. We had
that was great.
You know, it was. I mean, I met Jerry Stuckart. I want to mention Jerry as well. You know that. Do you know what, Gloria? About 2-3 years ago, I couldn't have named you one pool player. Maybe Earl Strickland, maybe SVB.
Efren Reyes.
And Efren. Now, how great is it that Efren's going to be playing in the World Cup of Pool with Carlo Biardo? I mean, that was announced yesterday by Matchroom. So that's fantastic, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Efren's been doing his farewell now. I played Efren over at Snookers a couple of years ago. I want to say 2018, I believe.
In Florida? In Tampa?
In Rhode Island.
Oh.
In Rhode Island. That's where I am right now. By the way, Corey said both of you are doing great things for pool. Thank you very much, Corey. But yes,
thanks, Corey.
Efren, I just want to say this about Efren because you're mentioning names. Efren was the absolute sweetest thing to me. People are like, oh, he doesn't smile. He smiled so much with me. We talked. Even his manager is an absolutely great guy. There are so many wonderful people in the industry. I remember reaching out to Mark Griffin when I first started. I started the tour in 2007, November 1st, 2007, 11/1. And when I did that, Hey Ron, yes, looking forward to seeing Ray. I don't blame you, Efren, for sure. Um, uh, I typed out who I'm like. I'm just starting. My name is Gloria. It was a couple of years out, and they sent me a whole bunch of CSI sent me a whole bunch of magic racks, a whole huge stack of them, and I was so excited. I had them and Shark. What was the name of them? Shark.
Q Shark.
Q Shark. As a sponsor, so they were like my first sponsor. Mueller's back then, you know. Um. So Ozzy. Send a shout out to Ozzy. I'm gonna be sending something. Ozzy, please check your email. Because I'm in need of some magic racks for my pool tournaments. Thank you kindly. Uh, so CSI is gonna be what 10, 11 years later. I'm asking CSI for some more racks. Um, yeah, you know, you have a lot. You've done so much to keep yourself uh in the industry. You've sacrificed so much. There's no need for you to sacrifice this anymore. People should be banging down your door to come on a show. People should be banging down your door to come and commentate because you are made for this. This is what you are made for.
Well,
So
thank you so much for that, Gloria. And I recently did an interview with Catherine on
Kat, she's a sweetheart.
Wikipedia. She's
She's
great,
a doll.
and she's become my friend now, and we chat a lot. She's fantastic, and she does so much for the industry. There's so many people that are doing so much for this for virtually nothing, just out of the love for the game. But it's things like this that people like us are doing that are going to, raise awareness and get new people into the sport. It's why we do these, it's why CSI come up with this idea for this 2 races to 4 with the shootout. They're okay. There's lots of older professionals, more experienced professionals that don't really enjoy that format and don't want to play it. That's fine. It's okay. But, it's not always all for them. We need to attract new viewers. There's great stories happening where, little 8-year-old kids are walking in and just happening upon one of these, it's free stream, so anyone can see it. You're not having to subscribe to anything to go and watch this. It's all free, and that's the whole point, getting it out to as many people as possible in the hope that new people are going to stumble across it. There's this great story, and I always tell it. This 8-year-old girl, she said to her dad after coming into the room where her dad was watching one of these shootouts, she was playing out in the garden, and she actually said to her dad, "Daddy, next time one of these is on, come and tell me because I want to come and watch it again." And when you're at one of these events and a shootout happens, it's like bees round a honeypot, that everyone just swarms around the table to watch these shootouts. Are they unfair? I think they're absolutely cruel to players, but they're fantastic for viewers. Viewers absolutely love it, but it's torture for the players. But just to answer a few critics of this particular format, what would you rather? Would you rather have 4 opportunities to play a shot and make it about skill, or would you rather go hill and your opponent, because they won the lag, it's their break, or it was winner break, they break and they fluke the 9 ball, or they pot 3 or 4 balls off the break, got an easy layout, and you don't even get a shot? What's fair? What's fairer? I'll tell you what, Kelly Fisher sums it up better than anyone, because she says, I don't think of it.
I see it as a race to 8.
It's a race to 8. And exactly, if you win 8 racks, you can't be beaten. So go out and win 8 racks if you really, really don't want that shootout.
She has such a great mentality. She really, really does. She is like the full package. I'm not saying
Do
any.
you know what?
I also want to. I just want to interrupt for a second because we got on Kelly
Yep.
Fisher. We talked about Kelly Fisher again. I'm gonna throw women in pool in here. I put women in pool together. Really, there's a reason for it. I put women in pool together. I thought that we should have some type of a talk show. Men have talk shows and podcasts and videos all the time. So I wanted it something for women. So I said, let's just put this together. I asked Allison, Kelly, Ava, Lori John, um, Joanne Mason Parker, and I'm just the person who puts it all together because I'm not, I'm not a pro at all. I'm barely an amateur. So we're
You
basically
are
like
for
the
me.
View about pool. It just doesn't have any politics and religion involved in it, and no drama. So we sit there and we talk about pool, we talk about life as a woman in the pool industry, and I just wanted to say uh thank you to, oh, we also Brittany Bryant on, kind of like as she can come in, and Mary, do you know Mary?
Mary Kennington?
She said yes as well. I have to get back in touch with her. I think that is pretty much as solid as it gets. I'm sure I'm going to bring in some more people. But I just wanted to thank my panel because we've been talking about Kelly so much. And I just want to make sure that my panel, the panel, not my panel, because we're all together, the panel knows how much I appreciate all of them, every single one of them. Mary hasn't been on yet. I don't know, when she'll have time or what's going to happen, but she did say yes. I guess there's some things to clarify, but um, I just wanted to send a shout out to them because these are two separate things that I run, and I couldn't be happier with them, honestly. They're just
That's
wonderful.
great. It's great. There's so much talent in the female world. There's some
There is.
great players coming up as well. Young Savannah Easton, Sophia Mast.
I
There's
sponsor
some great.
Savannah. Yes, we sponsor Savannah. So shout out to Savannah as well. I love her. She's a sweetheart.
I went to one of the fundraisers in Las Vegas at Banging Balls. There was a tournament there. I went and entered it, and I've got some memorabilia that the players have given me, signed autographs and balls. And so I gave her a signed ball by Josh Filler. The juniors are so important to this sport, so important. I just want to touch on Kelly Fisher one more time. You mentioned about what great mind she has, and she's so strong-willed. And I've got to know Kelly a lot. I got to meet her brother, as I started off at the start of this interview by saying. Steve is a great guy, and their father was a very famous and very good wrestler back in the day. What a guy he was as well. And hearing the stories of Kelly going and playing snooker in the working men's club back in the day, when not only were children not allowed in, but women weren't allowed in these places. And this has given her that resolve and the strength that you see now. I've honestly, I tell you, men could learn a lot from Kelly Fisher about single-mindedness and strength at the table, strong will, determination, and absolute grit to knuckle down and do everything right to go and win. But not only that, to do it with absolute pure class.
Yes,
I've never
she is.
met.
She is.
You
She
know,
is. She is a class act. I think that the ladies on the panel are all class acts, and they all have something unique to offer. They're all, it's synergistic, but they all have something different and unique to offer. And even if somebody isn't at the place where Kelly is, they still have something to offer. So cheers to all the ladies. Cheers to the people who make pool, the good people in the industry. The people who maybe I don't know how to word this, so I just won't. sorry, Facebook just reminded me how long I've been on. I have a timer on to keep myself off of it. But we're grateful for everything in pool because, like I said, just like in life, it makes us totally ecstatic when something great happens. Todd answered your question. Carly said, "Here, Gloria." Thank you, Carly. Love you very much. Todd Nevin said, "Sudden death," in all caps. "Single rack like the Challenge of Champions at Mohegan Sun." Oh my gosh, that's where I first met Kelly in 2007. She was part of the inspiration to start the tour. Kelly, Allison, Melissa Little, Guy Young Kim. There's offense, defense. Yep. And then Tom Kosher said, "Hey, what's up, Sis and Mark?" Tom's a player, the virtual tournaments.
Okay.
So a shout out to
I'd like
Tom.
also to mention two special people or one special person that I met in Las Vegas. You know the Ashton twins, right?
Mm-hmm. I know of them. I've never met them.
Joanne and Beverly.
Yes.
Great people. They do this annual challenge in Canada. They're from Canada, in Calgary.
Yes.
I can't wait to meet them. It's called the ATC. It's the Ashton Twins Challenge.
Yes.
Lots of great women going up there for that, I know. There really is some great characters in the pool world on both sides of the fence. I'd just love to see more women going into these open events as well. Yes, it's great that there's these tournaments that are running alongside them now for the women's Las Vegas Open, the one that's going to be in Canada coming up in August, and then of course the US Pro Billiards Series, the ones that we've got with the women's events running alongside as well. I'd love to see just a few more women go into the men's events as well, because or not the men's events, they're open.
Events.
Anyone can go in them. Anyone can go in them, and I'd just love to see them, because I think it will help their game as well. You need to play better players all the time to elevate your game to a new level, and we're starting to see that now, and I think it's great. And more power, more girl power to you. Come on, girls, get in those tournaments. It's great to have you around these events, and people want to see women play great pool, and it's happening. I got to meet Jennifer Beretta. Oh my God, what a presence that woman has when she walks in a room. Complete legend of the game, and just to be in the same room as her, I was like in awe of it. I couldn't even, she's actually probably the only player I've never gone up to and spoken to because I was too frightened to.
Really?
Yeah.
The only female player or the only player?
Sorry?
The only female player or the only player?
The only player. She's got this, God.
Ava has that kind of like command for respect.
Is that the striking Viking?
Yes, that certainly is.
I had a drink with her in Las Vegas in one of the bars along with Kelly, and she's great. She's great. I had a great conversation with her. Yeah, it's all about, look, it's about characters, right? And we need more characters as well. Yes, it's nice to see players running racks all the time and breaking and running, but it's also nice to see a miss. It's nice to see a bit of emotion coming from them. Even the young 14-year-old Riku Rompinen last night threw his extension down on the floor after missing an easy 6-ball, which would have taken him level, actually, with Sky Woodward. He'd already come back and beat, who did he beat? He came back and beat, Robbie Capito. He was 8-4 down against Robbie Capito, I think, and won 9-8.
There's been some amazing comebacks. Through the last 5 tournaments. There's been some amazing comebacks. I cannot even. That's a whole nother story. But I remember talking about the upset that we were going to see. And I typed it out, and sure enough, it did. And I felt bad afterward. But anyway, Tom Kosha has a question. Do you think John will beat Eagle Eye's record for this week in 14-1?
Do you know, I was talking to Grant Zemp last night, the guy that's putting on the Big Predator event in Canada, because he's actually with Grant at the moment. That's where he's doing the challenge, in a local club to Grant, where Grant is. And Grant actually sent me a message when I asked him for those flyers for the upcoming event. He sent me a message and said, I've got a good feeling today John Schmidt is going to make a big number. Whether or not he'll beat Jason 714 or not, I'll tell you what, that is such a tough ask. Did you see Jason's hands after he'd done that 714? The blisters on it, the tiredness, the just absolutely, totally mentally drained. Jason made a very good point to me the other day. He said he done it with no one there apart from the camera, just the camera and somebody racking the balls. John Schmidt is trying to do it. He's trying to do it on a different table, on a tighter table, with people watching, where, you know, depending on how many people are coming in and out of the room, the conditions are going to change. The rails will bounce different.
Yeah.
The cloth will react differently. It's a tough ask. I mean, I saw him on Dogging It the other night, John Schmidt, and he was saying he'd had a few 190s, a few 200s and things. But, you know, to make 700, put that into perspective.
Yeah, that's insane. That was insane.
It is insane. And you have to be a special kind of person to do that. But look, he done 626.
Yeah, it's not that far off, really. It's not that far off.
It's not that far. You know, it's like the first 4-minute mile when Roger Bannister done it back in whenever he did it. You know, no one believed that it could be done until he did it.
Yes. It's, yeah.
You know,
I listened to a motivational video, with that in it all the time.
And now everyone's doing it.
To put it into perspective, 714 is 47.6 racks run. So that's a lot of racks.
It's absolutely insane.
Yeah. So over 47.5 racks to run consecutively in 14-1. So, I mean, it's not just running 15 straight balls.
Yeah, he said he had to put like heaty pads on his back.
Yeah.
He couldn't move for like days.
Well, the mental torture in that, for leaving your break ball,
because you can get through the physical, I think, easier than you can get through the mental.
You've got to know where to leave your, what ball to leave for your break ball. If not at the beginning of the rack, at least by halfway through the rack, you got to have a pretty good idea where you're gonna leave that breakout ball.
Yeah, so. Ron made a point. Yeah, Mosconi did his run in the tournament. That's right, Ron. That's right. James Bennett, he's on a high run now. All right, well, you know what? We'll see what happens, I guess. And against competition. Very true, Ron. Very true. It took a long time to break that record, and then a very short period of time before Jason came in and just did it. So let's see what happens.
Another way to look at that, Gloria, the maximum amount of racks that they play, like there was a few hill matches yesterday in the UK Open. That's a maximum of 17 racks. Just imagine keeping your concentration, and don't forget you're playing every shot as well. You're not waiting for your opponent to play. Just imagine running 46 and a half or 47.
The stamina alone. Yeah.
It's absolutely, what an incredible feat that is. And you know what? I'm glad he's getting lots of recognition for it. I'm glad he's selling lots of balls and videos and, DVDs of the run, because anyone that reaches that pinnacle in their career, I mean, that is massive. It's there's only one word. It's insane. And I'm so proud to see somebody. Now, Jason Shaw's had a bad rap in the past. He's been like, you see him at the Moscone, like, and all like this. He's one of the kindest, softest gentlemen you could ever meet. Do you know, I'm going to tell you a little secret about Jason Shaw. When I went to Connecticut, to West Haven, I went to visit him. I booked in. I didn't have a lot of money. Of course I don't. I work in the pool industry, right?
Right.
I had this crappy room in this awful, like a motel thing. There was actually when I arrived there, there was an African American lady, a big lady, off her head on spice, running around the car park naked, trying to jump in everyone's car. That's where I was staying, right? Jason and Ara come and pick me up from there the next morning. Jason's first words to me were, mate, you're not staying here. There's no way you are staying here. He took me to a Hyatt and booked me in a Hyatt for 10 days, all at his own expense. He picked me up every single day from that hotel. He took me to his pool room every single day. He cooked me food, or his mother-in-law and father-in-law cooked me food. They gave me free food, free drink. I never spent a penny. They took me out on a fishing trip. They took me out with their children to the arcade at the weekend. They were absolutely fantastic to me. They didn't know me 6 months ago. That's the kind of people we've got in pool, and they're the people that we need to champion. They're the people we need to highlight. And I'm so happy that Jason done what he did with that young kid when he gave him his medal at the Predator World 10 Ball Championships. I'm so proud of what Jason done then. He's lovely. He's always got time for his fans. He's always got time for everybody. And he's a generous, kind, loving human being. And I tell you what, I'm so glad he done that 714.
Yeah. I mean, he's just what, 45 minutes from us, his pool venue.
Oh, really?
45 minutes, yeah.
Have you been to his pool room, US1?
I have not.
See, I've been there as well.
I have not. No, but you have to understand that I don't really go really anywhere. There's a pool venue from me where I'm going to be holding a tournament in this coming weekend, and someone's running it for me. But there are personal reasons behind this. So,
okay.
Health reasons behind why
I don't want to try and hog the limelight and hog all the time, take up all the time. There's one person I've just thought of as well, who I owe a tremendous amount to, who has listened to all my woes and my worries and my concerns over the last year or so. And that's, I'm sure you know this lady. She's a legend in the pool industry, Angel Levine.
Yes.
A fantastic person.
I know of her, but that woman right there, she is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to pool. I actually talked to somebody who knows her and has known her for years. She is truly, she is amazing wealth. Yes. I don't know her personally though, but I hear good things about her.
Yeah, she made some great documentaries, Raising the Hustler, things like that. She's done a lot of stuff with Philip Capel also, who's another great guy that I'm honoured to know. I know I keep saying this, but I feel so lucky to have met so many great people in this industry. And you today, meeting you as well, it's been a complete, I know we've spoken on and off a few times, but not really had a great conversation, not any length anyway.
Yes.
And it's lovely to meet you. And for anyone that I feel is special, I always write a rap for, okay? I've got this alter ego called Two Piece Q. Now, because of technical difficulties, look, I'm going to be honest. I did come prepared. I've got my cap, and I've got my bling. How do you like my bling? Look, my bling is.
I do like your bling. I do like your bling.
So
I do.
Now I wrote a rap yesterday in about 10 minutes. Sometimes it just comes to me. Sometimes I struggle for an hour or something. But this one just came to me. And then what I normally do is have a little bit of a practice of it and then rewrite it. And I'm so proud of the one I'm written for you, but I can't perform it now because my laptop, my very expensive gaming laptop, has decided for some reason to just not work today. So this is why I'm on my cell phone doing this interview with you now. and I couldn't do it justice. So, but what I will do is I'll do what I normally do. I'll record it and then I'll put it out later, and
Okay.
hopefully you can play it on your
I'm gonna
show
share
some.
it. I'm gonna share it on my personal page, on my I Want Simonis page. Uh, yes, everywhere. Thank you so
Okay.
much. That's so sweet. I so appreciate that. That makes me feel really special. I
No,
know
you,
there aren't many people that have gotten, uh, 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 Q. Now I'm like, and that there again, uh, two-piece Q, rap. But I always watch them. I always watch them. I think they're awesome. I love them. I
I
do.
actually done one live for Emily Fraser when we had her on the Booth Brothers, and she sent me a lovely email afterwards and said, she said her exact words were, "Do you know, I had such a shitty day today. You put a smile on my face and you made my day great. Thank you for that." And that's why I love doing what I do. You know, I've got people now saying, "Oh, it's my birthday on July the 8th. Will you write a rappy birthday for me?" This rappy birthday was just something I came up with. I'm English. Like, I love the English language. I love words. I love poetry. One of my greatest lessons at school was English. I always remember my English teacher when I was about 10 years old said, we were given this task to write a poem, and I finished in like 2 minutes. And she said, "You can't be finished." I said, "I am finished." She said, "Read it to the class." And I read it to the class and everyone laughed. And that was kind of like my first introduction to entertainment and thinking, wow, people laughed. People laugh at me. I make people happy. So I just like doing stuff like that, you know. So that's why I do these rappy birthday things. That's why I'm like I am in the comedy booth. I just want to entertain people and be honest and open and candid, and I want to be transparent. I've got no secrets. I want everyone to know how I'm feeling. You may even have seen a tear in my eye earlier when I was mentioning that, you know, these down times between tournaments. I hate it. I cannot wait for the
Well, you
next one.
always have a friend. You always have a friend to message. You're friends with Carly. You're
Um,
friends with me.
yeah,
I may not. You guys know I have a busy life, uh, work and the tour and trying to keep up with women in pool and my 92-year-old father, but I'm available. So, um, and I love. By the way, I love poetry too. I wrote this some time ago, and I almost want to, like, because of the way that you feel, I almost want to I want to do it, but this is like your show. Like, I brought you on here for a
no,
reason.
please. Just going back to the father situation, I just want you to know that I cared for my father for I actually, one of the reasons I left Thailand when I did the first time was to care for my father who had dementia. I know Angel won't mind me saying that she's going through the same now. That's obviously a common bond that we have, and I know that you're looking after your father as well at the
Yeah,
moment, and I think it's
he
a great thing to do. And I feel your pain. I know what it's like.
thank you. Yeah, he fell again a week and some ago. So long story short, he has dementia also, and he has another disease, and he has a tumor, pituitary tumor in his brain. When my mom passed away in 2007, April 24th, 2007, my father had a stroke October, and he wasn't supposed to live. So I almost lost both my parents months apart. He had it on my sister's birthday. And he wasn't gonna go to the emergency room, so they were calling me at like 6:30 in the morning. He was falling over. Long story shorter, I've been taking care of him since uh, he had that stroke. And now that I'm doing more with the tour, Curtis has helped out. He stepped in and helped out. So uh, he had TERP. He had a nephrectomy. Took one of his kidneys out. It's been a battle, for sure. So thank you very much. And I'm sorry that you had to go through it too.
Yeah, look, just cherish every moment, because some of my darkest moments now are when
I understand. I do, and it's
I think about my dad.
Yeah. I'm
But, you
I'm
know, it makes me want to go on and keep doing things that I love doing and make
you
people
need
laugh,
to.
make people happy, you know, spread some love of the game and spread happiness, and always try and find a funny way around things. And, you know, it's what makes us stronger. And I want to carry on doing stuff like that to make my father proud. The only thing I would say to you is hug your dad as often as possible. Tell him you love him as much as you can, as often as you can, because once they're gone, you can no longer do it.
I know. I lost my mother, my brother, my sister, my great niece at only 24 this past July. It's it's not easy. I have one sister left, then that's it. All my uncles and aunts are gone. So,
Well,
um,
I admire you, Gloria. I admire you.
you know, so yeah, you know what? I think I will read this. This is such an awkward, I don't want to say awkward, but this is such a unique interview. But I'm going to read this to you because I think that maybe this will talk to you a little bit. And it's really weird because when you talked about that, um, it's called the Eight of Swords. I used to read tarot cards. I love astrology, by the way. I used to read tarot cards. And this was when I was going through a very dark point in my life, when I was only 73 pounds. And I was 30 pounds lighter than I am now. And that's why I stopped running my own tournaments due to health issues.
Wow.
And I was like that for a long time until they found out that I had 3 autoimmune diseases and tens of thousands of tumors that spread from my lungs into my esophagus, into my stomach, into my small intestine. Then they found an issue with my trachea. Long story short, that's the reason to everybody out there that I don't attend my own tournaments at this time. It's been an ongoing thing. But I still stay strong and I still do what I love. I'm living proof. I've not gone to a single Super Billiard Expo. I have not gone to a single BCA anything, an APA anything, and not sat around and met the pros. The only thing I've gone is gone to the what is that called there? The WPBA event. That one time, and that's where I met the ladies in 2007. As I said, the same year my father had his stroke, my mother passed. So this I'm going to read to you, kind of dedicated to you because I wrote this about myself. But surrounded by walls I didn't know I imprisoned myself in, due to fears of life from deep within. My pains concealed in my winding mind, hidden deep from view as each day I grind, to do the best I can as I feel alone. My mind has beaten my body to broken bones. I feel a sliver of bravery and lift my body and head. I walk to the wall and see instead. They are made up of thoughts and perceptions unreal, a test from God to show me I am the one who can heal myself of the burdens I thought I could not bear in my false imprisonment of my mental lair. The path I need to follow is abundantly clear. I stand tall and I walk without fear. This entire time it was up to me to walk the path that could set me free. Rip away the facade I made up in my mind of the fictitious world I now leave behind. And I think that might hit you a little bit too. I had no intention at all of taking over or writing that, but of reading that. But I think that
Wow.
you can connect to it, maybe.
Absolutely. I could have written that. You know, everyone thinks I'm just a fool. I'm not really a fool. I like doing my funny rhymes, but I also write lots of serious stuff as well, which never sees the light of day for various reasons. And that was just beautiful what you just said, and I can really relate to it because
Thank you.
I mean I've been lucky enough. I mean, I've had my health issues as well, but nothing like that. And I think you are such a strong person and you're so lovely, and
Thank you.
I admire you for reading that, and thank you for sharing it with me. I think that's one of
I've
the
never shared
nicest.
I not shared it publicly. So
Thank you. I feel totally honoured, and you know, I feel honoured to have been invited on your show.
But I did share it
I
on
think
Facebook when I first wrote it, but then I hid it. I apologize for that, but I've never shared it with a single, like, an individual that I knew would connect to it. That's the truth.
wow, that
Yeah.
was powerful. This has turned into a. I need to go and get some more. I need to go and buy some
Whenever
more
I have
tissues.
interviews, they always get emotional. Joanne was like, she got emotional. Allison talked about her father. She didn't really get emotional. Kelly talked to me about her family. Margaret and I talked a lot about health. She was probably one of the ones that were geared more toward like the pool, but she interviewed me right back. We had what's called I called it like a dual interview, because I interviewed her and she interviewed me at the same time, and that's when she was wanting to get ready to start the interviewing, which you remember she ended up doing those quick interviews. And she and I talked about that. I could say it now because it's past, but she was in stealth mode at that time. But anyway, so Mark, are you going to be commentating with me at some point? Carly's going to be coming in. Carly, open door. And Mark, I would love to have you on any possible time that you are free.
I'd be honoured to do it. I'd love to
I
do
would
it.
love it.
Just let me know when. Let me know when, and we'll have a great laugh. Oh, somebody I forgot to mention as well. Actually, I should, because he gave me a big chance as well. Nate Mindham, he from Cue It Up.
Yes.
He gave me. Was that your alarm going off then?
Yes. That was
You got
my
the same
alarm. That's
alarm
like
as
the
I-
third time it went off because
You got the same alarm as I had. So
take
yeah,
care of
Nate
Pops.
Mindham. I want to thank Nate Mindham as well for giving me the chance. Jim Telfer, who helped me, you know, when commentating with Jim, he put up with my stupidity, as did Nate, and all the Cue It Up podcast family. I met a lot of them at the Moscone as well recently. So thanks to all you guys as well. Thank you to everyone I've ever met in the industry, to all the players who have put up with my interviewing them and following them around. You know, I try not to hassle them too much, the players, when I'm at the events.
It's part
but,
of what we love about you. Why are you apologizing for being you and for being the you that we want? If you didn't have that aspect to you, would we still love the Mark White that we love?
Don't think so.
No, don't apologize. Don't make me play it on here. They'll cut me off. So yes, so I'm happy that you mentioned some really wonderful people here. I'm going to send a shout out to my sponsors right here too, because first of all, without the players, I wouldn't have been here 15 years, and even though things may be, you know, going down a little bit, because this would be my very first tournament in 3+ years, I think. I don't know the outcome of it, but I want to say thank you to the players, because without you, we would never be. Thank you for the industry. Thank you to the venues. A lot of places don't thank venues. Thank you to the venues for holding a place for the players and myself. Hold on one second. Carly said such a truthful poem that connects many of us in a depth. Be with you. Oh, you're very welcome, Carly. Give Mark his own 20 questions. No, I'm not stealing Jim Telfer's. No, absolutely not. Reply to Carly McGee, connects with many for sure. Purple or orange? No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to be stealing things. I know I have not had my Pringles yet. That's at 8 o'clock. I
just want to let you know. I just want to let you know my battery has just flashed up, running low on my cell phone. So if I disappear, it's not because I want to. It's because my battery's gone. I don't know how near we are to wrapping this up. Talking of wraps, I will record your wrap later on, and I'll send it to you. I can't wait to do it. It's a little bit naughty. It's a little bit naughty. But it's
okay. Naughty. There you go, Kelly.
It's a bit naughty, very naughty. That's a little bit.
Okay, all right. No, surprise me. I want it. Like, I want a full surprise. Okay.
Do you know who Krista Berg is? Krista Burr. You know who Krista Burr is, right?
Yes.
Lady in Red. Lady in Red.
Yes.
Lady in Red is dancing
Sing with me, cheek to cheek.
to
Yes,
cheek. Yeah.
yes, yes, yes.
Look, you today are my lady in red. You look lovely in
Oh, I
red.
love that. That's my
It's
favorite color.
It's your color. There you go. You see, it's your color.
It's my
Red,
favorite color.
red hot, vibrant, full of life.
Feisty,
Hot.
hot-headed,
Spicy.
Italian.
Oh, Italian as well, huh?
From New York.
Do you know what? I'm glad my battery's going because I could get myself in a lot of trouble now.
Okay, but before you get yourself in trouble, Jamie Ingram from Off the Rail wanted me to say hello to you. He's my sponsor. He's my apparel sponsor right now. We're just starting out together. And he wanted me to say hello. I remember that you wore a shirt of his, a black and white, if I remember correctly in my head. I saw it.
Jamie and Rhonda Royal, great people from Off the Rail, always at the venues. Jamie, great guy. Thank you, mate, for welcoming me, and thanks for all the stuff you've given me. Rhonda is great to have around the venues as well, taking her selfies with all the players. Anything like that, interaction with all the players, getting us to know more about the players is what it's all about. I don't know whether there's anything else you want to say to me. I just want to say thank you so much for inviting me, Gloria. Thanks to Kurt as well for sitting there and doing whatever he's doing.
You have to promise me that between now and December, I get you on here commentating. How many months do we have left for this year? 8?
Yeah. 7.
I'll give you a pass on 1. 7 times. Oh, 7 months left?
Yeah.
6. Let's make a deal.
Any time I'm not commentating on one of the CSI Predator events or any other tournament, I'm willing to jump on. I love it. I'd love to.
So you're saying that I am now second choice. I see where this is going. I better get that wrap tonight. All right, so let's just wrap this up. Say thank you to the sponsors. So thank you to Iwan Simonis first and foremost. Thank you to Aramith. Thank you to Diamond. Thank you to Littman Lights. Thank you to Kamui. Thank you to Tony Russell Hughes. Thank you to Bulletproof Brake Tips. I have to read off here. Thank you to Off the Rail Apparel. Thank you to Illuminated Queuing Art System. I can't wait to get mine and my diamond table. Thank you to Narragansett, the only brewery in Rhode Island. And I said Kamui already. Yeah, I think I mentioned them all. So thank you guys so much. We have another sponsor coming in. I can't wait to announce them. Alter Ego in the house. So I'm going to get my Pringles. And Tom, see you soon. Ciao to you. Carly, much love back to you. That's for Carly. And thank you, Ron, my partner. He's my partner when we play virtual. I play with Ron. He's my partner and my Florida representative, actually.
Could I just say one thank you finally to all the viewers and people that have ever sent me kind words of encouragement about my commentary and about the stuff and about, you know, and every message I get, I always answer every single person. I love the interaction with the pool fans, and I just want them to know that anytime they want to reach out to me, they're more than welcome to private message me or message me wherever you want. I love you guys. I really, really do. It's why I do what I do. Without them, the sport, no matter how many great players we have, without the fans, we have nothing.
Nothing.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
Amen to that.
Yeah. That's why
Thanks,
I thank
guys.
the players first and foremost, and
Thank you, Mark.
our sponsors and the people who come on the show. I mean, I couldn't do any of this without the panel. You know, and thank you, God, for everything.
Mm-hmm.
So
thank you for reading that poem out to me, Gloria. You don't
you're
know
welcome.
how much.
I was getting like a little bit I don't really get shy, but I was getting a little bit nervous reading it. So
You're
that's
a
my
lovely
property, by the
person.
way.
You're a
No one can
lovely
take that. It's my property.
My phone battery's about to die. I'm going to say goodbye.
All right,
Thank you so
my
much.
dear. Namaste.
So when you
Many
come
blessings.
from Thailand.
And from Rhode Island, USA. Have a wonderful